Good afternoon, everybody. Today we are going to make our own yeast because you guys, that's the next thing being sold out at the stores. First it was the flour, and then I guess people figured out, oh, you need yeast to make bread. So while I still have plenty of yeast, I've always wanted to try my hand at sourdough, but was intimidated because I felt like with working full time and then managing farm chores, I wouldn't have the time to just manage making my sourdough starter. So that's what we're gonna do today. It is a way to capture yeast naturally, yeast that occurs in your environment. And what's really cool is sourdough starter all across the world is different because there's different naturally occurring yeast everywhere. So we're going to see what kind of wild yeast we can capture here in Southeast Michigan and make our own sourdough starter. So we're going to do that today, but I'm going to ask you guys to maybe start it with me and let's do this experiment together. And we'll come back in like 5 days and check in and see how it's going. So that'll be fun. So I think one of the things that you need is a jar, because this is going to grow over time, and you want a jar that can manage as you add to it. Unfortunately, the only big jar I have left is regular mouth, which isn't ideal. You would want a wide mouth jar. So hopefully you guys have that or some other type of container that you can use. I looked at all my containers and there's like, I have like a tall plastic Tupperware, like cylinder container that's holding my oatmeal. I could have used that if I would have put my oatmeal in something else. I might switch to that if I enjoy this process and keep that going. So to start, we're going to add a quarter cup of water and a quarter cup of flour, and that's it. And we're going to give that a good mix. I think you want it like really thick pancake batter. And that's it. So let's see if we can see in there. Kind of like thick pancake batter. And you're going to do this process each day for the next 5 days. So every day, feed your sourdough starter with a quarter cup of water, a quarter cup of flour, and hopefully we're gonna start seeing some bubbling going on. So let me get this covered and I'll come back and say goodbye. Okay, so I'm just gonna cover it with a coffee filter and put a ring on, and then I'm gonna set it on top of my fridge like you would your kombucha. Set it someplace warm in your house. And hopefully in 5 days, we're gonna see some fun action. So start it with me, guys. Let's see how this goes. I definitely don't intend on making like those fancy artisanal loaves. I'm gonna try to just use my sourdough starter for things like pancakes and sandwich bread. So yeah, it'll be fun. And then that way I can save my packaged yeast and we'll continue to experiment with this while we're all working from home. Talk to you guys later.